This is my 392 video, and I now have 73 subscribers thanks to J Buddha TV. That's J Buddha TV 23, and he has I was his 194th subscriber. He has 193 videos. Um, he's a gaming. He's a new 2024 gaming, um, upcoming YouTuber. Like, subscribe, enjoy. So I'm subscribed to his channel, checking it out. He looks like he live streams mostly, and yeah, we never know. I'm gonna get back to live streaming and rebuilding my hardware section. Right now, I'm pretty much like Nintendo. If he's listening, it's Jay's. Just I'm gonna tag him in the thing. Um, I'm doing Nintendo. Like, if do an order, if there was a quote unquote order, right? Nintendo's one, Apple's two, three is PC. I got PC three, I think so, because I want to rebuild a PC, um, and then I'm gonna get into hobby building. So I'm gonna build me a Raspberry 4 or 5 or whatever the latest one is, and then I might consider a PlayStation 6 down the line. But I do have a PlayStation 3 that I want to rebuild, and or get a PlayStation 4. But I have a huge PlayStation 3 library, so if I can't get this PlayStation 3 rebuilt, um, then I might go to PlayStation 4 route, or might buy a refurbished PlayStation 3. That way I can play the 3 games, and then I'll get a high level 6 or 7 or whatever. Um, but that's like last on my list right now. I'm not really PlayStation, but I did originally own a PlayStation 1, 2, and 3. But my main thing is I've been spitting out. What I mean, just letting Jay know if he's listening. Um, I'm a Generation X hip hopper. So for myself, the hip hop community and hip hop consciousness and the hip hop culture is bigger than gaming. I mean, even though gaming is like the number one genre of entertainment. It's a genre of entertainment, just like movies is a genre of entertainment. Hip hop is more than just entertainment. Hip hop is a I mean, that and I might then I might repeat myself from my previous 390 videos. Hip hop is an American culture created by the children of the 1960 civil rights movement. So I'm saying Generation X started in 1960, and the 1979 will be the 20-year interval of Generation G and X, and that's where we give. That's why I salute the legendary. What's his name? Oh, geez, my bad. Kendrick Lamar, K. Dot, because I do give K. Dot much respect. Much respect is due. He is giving respect to the Rakims, the Big Daddy Kanes, the of course the Compton, and the whole Def Squad, and Snoop and Dre and all them. He's representing. He's really representing, and I'm seeing him overseas with an X around his neck and moving the crowd like he's Malcolm. And I'm what I mean, I don't do the pride thing, but that much respect. I give him a salute for doing that, to let them know that the Nation of Islam is a respectable organization, not the enemy of Black Americans. I do the Foundation of Black American tribute. That's B1, meaning Black First. FBA, not like us, and GNX is where I'm going with it right now. ADOS, I really, American Descendant of Slavery, 1619 date. We want to talk more about that, but I do go further back with the Foundation of Black American 1526 date and flag, and what that first revolution against Spanish colonizers, way back in the day. Now we're going to, next year will be 500 years. I wouldn't call it a celebration, but 500 years of warfare. Whether it's psychological or physical. So But there it is. Mental, physical, spiritual is what we try to pursue. And shout out to Jay, man. I hope you like it. Hit the like button, subscribe, and share. Now I'm dropping this fentanyl thing right here. Right, is a powerful synthetic opioid. Right, um, that's up to 50 times stronger than the heroin and 100 times stronger than the morphine. Just 2 milligrams of fentanyl equals 5 to 10 grams of table salt is considered a lethal dose. Now, this is when Biden opened up the borders, and this is why we don't really do Biden on my channel. Well, I don't do Biden, and I really don't do Democrats because they still haven't stepped up to take accountability for opening up the borders and letting in a whole bunch of illegals for no reason at all other than to you know, bring in more voter base for themselves. I'm just keeping it just like that. Like, and so you let foreign invaders in, and they're bringing this deadly drug, and they bringing them to our major cities. And best believe if they mail illegals from whatever country they coming from up here, they using this drug to, drug mainly probably the women. A little drop of that inside they, what I mean, whatever. Like smoke it, drink it. What I mean, touch the skin, and take advantage. Now that has a twofold. Now you got a new addict, and what I mean, you're destroying somebody else. Like that's why we like they gotta go. You know what I'm saying? That's why we're I'm supportive of we got to get those criminals out of here. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what these Democrats is trying to put to the forefront. And that's why I'm going to share some DeAndre today. DeAndre's talking about what's going on in Chicago. And, what I mean? And it's like they don't want to attribute any blame with the illegals and the possibility of the fentanyl being some of the underlying things that happen, especially exclusively to the black community. That's where he's being dishonest, So, but I'm gonna share a little bit of DeAndre today on that, and then pretty much that's it. A quick show. This Royce Wright one, I might go back and check this. It might be coming on now, on the Belly of the Beast, and it's the linking of the LGBTQIA plus DEI PDF. Files, in political policy files. Like, why are you still running on a 1% of the population matter and then acting like, why are you complaining about it's only 1% of the population? But at the same time, using black people, which is 14% of the population, as the forefront of their movement, and not helping us in this, possible fentanyl overdose, drugged, and the harming of our women and children, right? Like, we still trying to recover too from all of the chaos that opening the borders did to us. So I might check this out a little bit later. Not right now. That's the love right there on top, and what's on Tubi. And then when I first did the J, so I might have been 191 subscriber then. That's my man, and that's my cuz, and that's the seed. So, and this one right here is pretty cool too. What if Tupac got locked up before he killed? But sip the juice. I got enough to go around, and the thought takes place uptown. Shout out to Rakim. That song is what made the movie. I'm just keeping it 100. That's not to knock Tupac as an actor. He limited range, but he's a good dude. I ain't no hate on, on Pac. I give Pac much respect. I wish he would have. I wish he was still with us though. Like, he shouldn't have stomped that boy that day. But it is what it is, right? So I'm gonna go right into this video, and then I'll be back. Maybe play a little gameplay, and drop it after that. Like that's more than enough. I think I did a great, quick show for you. Be right back after this.
All right, YouTube, this Detroit's HPTV coming to you on this Tuesday morning. the morning after the Labor Day weekend. And of course, we knew that it was going to be mass shootings. We knew exactly what was going to happen because it happens annually. But the crazy part about it is, if it happens annually, why do they never prepare for it? You have Brandon Johnson, the mayor, 6% approval rating from his constituents, still making it about Trump protecting the community of Chicago. Could you imagine in your city, 54 shootings, 8 people unalived on a weekend? Well, I can, because that's what our community looks like every holiday, every other day. But still, it's racism. It's Trump. It's not these liberal politicians who promote violence. They give it the green light because they need the people to be impoverished to stay on the Democratic plantation. And then it reeks of socialism and communism. They scream democracy, but everything they say sounds like communism. I have 2 clips, and bear with me and watch these 2 clips. The first one is Mayor Johnson pushing a straight socialist and communist agenda. But the sad part about his so-called labor movement is it only for Black women and the LGBTQ community? Because that's what he's going to say. He's going to say he's creating a labor movement just for Black women in the LGBTQ community. That's one heck of a movement, ain't it? All that sassiness, back talk, neck rolling, and gender dysphoria as a movement, while he ignores the carnage in his city. And I want you to ponder that. These liberals, they don't care what happens in our communities. They don't care that our young people are taking each other's lives daily. They don't care that it was mass shootings all across Chicago. This man held a rally, a labor movement rally, specifically for Black women and the LGBTQ community. Black women, we didn't know that y'all joined on to that. We watched you join on to feminism and accept a welfare state to help destroy the nuclear family. Now you done joined on with a movement to change the gender of the children. Even what they're pandering to you with seems diabolical. Why they have all these termination clinics in your community. If this is really a battle about good and evil, then clearly that's an evil side. That's a genocidal side that you've chosen as the 90% that voted for Kamala. It's shameful. It's diabolical, to say the least, that you've latched on to that movement, abandoning your communities and your families just for a position in the Democratic Party, a failing party, a party that is abandoning you, using you as a scapegoat and sacrifice as frontline cannon fodder against a movement that will not stop. The conservative movement will not stop. People, they attack me in the comments as if I'm somebody's leader. No, this is a movement. This is a conservative movement to save our families, our children, and our country from radical socialist, communist liberals who are diabolical, who are in opposition to nature, God, and country. And without further ado, let's get into these clips. This is for fair use under the 1976 Copyright Act for education and commentary. Let's see what happened over the Labor Day weekend. Check this out. First, Brandon Johnson, listen carefully to his speech. Please listen carefully.
Let's go. Let me hear you, Chicago. Let me get you a little bit more noisy out there. Yes. No federal troops in the city of Chicago. No militarized force in the city of Chicago. We're going to defend our democracy in the city of Chicago. We're going to protect the humanity of every single person in the city of Chicago. And we got the baddest freaking labor movement in the city of Chicago. Birth right here.
Now listen, he said Chicago got the baddest freaking labor movement. Listen to his labor movement.
We're gonna take this fight across America, but we gotta defend the home front first. And the best way we defend the home front is to make sure that every single worker has a livable wage. That's why we abolished the sub-minimum wage in Chicago for brown and black women. They get raises on top.
Wait a minute. Brown and black women? That's it? No men of color, as y'all like to say color, no men of color, no black men, no white men, just black and brown women. They'll do anything to hold on to that 90% of sellouts, uncouth, unmotherly, unpatriotic people. Listen.
Top of their tips. This is the city of Chicago, where we have given paid time off for over 1 million workers, 10 days off. The biggest city in America to ever do it. This is the labor movement, you all. On pace to build more affordable units. A teacher's contract that protects black women. A teacher's contract that protects the LGBT.
Wait a minute. He's not protecting, this movement is to protect nobody but black women and brown women and the LGBT community. What kind of movement is this? What is the basis of this movement?
My bad. There it is, right? There it is. So let's see right here. Like let me hit that. See if we can do something real quick. Oh, that was the wrong way. Let's see if we can play this a little bit, you know? Check this out. You know what I mean? I'm on my Apple TV. And turn the volume down a little bit. One of those games that's on here, I don't never play it. You know what I mean? I'm part of the service. I think I'll re-up tomorrow, maybe, hopefully. Quick race. Yes. There it is. So yeah, you know, the politics of fear is the worst thing that they should be doing right now. You know, we shouldn't be in fear right now. That's why I really appreciate the other video that I shared. Man, this joint look kind of cool, right? Yeah, that's why. All right, so see, cool. That's why the other video I shared the other day with the guy in Philadelphia steering digital coders, you know, okay. The guy that I shared in you know, hold B to slow down. Okay, but I'm not trying to slow down. Okay. So yeah, oh, I'm horrible. Okay. Yeah, the guy in Philadelphia that was basically standing in the middle of the town saying, I spent out. Darn, my bad. Ain't mean to bang the whip up. The fact that he had to do that was a testament of what's the mental issues that's going on right now. Like we have to coach our people not to be afraid of the cops. You know what I mean? Like that's nothing for me, you know. And that's what he was trying to prove. That like that's what's sad that we have to, and especially if it's a black cop, stop shooting black people, we all gonna drop. You don't even get paid a whole lot. So take that X16, put it on lock. Take that Uzi, put it on lock. Okay, whoa. Black cop. 30 years ago, there was no, well, actually, 60 years ago, more than that now, 60 years ago, there were no black cops. You couldn't even drive up the block. Recently, police trained black cops to stand on the corner and take the whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the police. Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the bees. Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the police. Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the bees. 21 minutes. Should I give y'all some more? Let's go back to Rakim. Knowledge should begin until I finish this song, cause the rhyme gets rougher as the rhyme goes on. You sweat as you step about to get hype, or should you just listen to the man on the mic? You're physically here with me, but how could you tell if you're meant to be hip hop if you're not mentally as well? If it's meant to be hip hop if you're not mentally as well. We gotta step up our hip hop game, you know. We shouldn't be afraid of the cops, right? If you are hot on the block, right now the block is too hot. So, you know what I mean? Log in, subscribe, see you in the virtual world, you know what I'm saying? Don't be out there trying to, you know what I mean? That's dumb, right? Me and Jay, you know what I mean? We gonna link up, hopefully, maybe, you know what I mean? And race on the, I know he ain't gonna play this game. This game kind of, you know. But I am a Gran Turismo fan. It would be cool if I can get the, you know, a latest version of Gran Turismo again one day. I really enjoyed it on my PlayStation 3. If I get it up and running, I can play it again. And then I'll live stream a little bit of that maybe. So, but I hope y'all enjoyed this little presentation. I did start it off a little gloomy. My apologies, but that's where my mind is at, because it's like, all right, now he's going into Chicago. He's trying to, you know, Trump trying to go into Chicago, and it is to clean up the streets. It's completely out of control. And they've been blaming my culture for the longest time, but way back in the days when hip hop began, we had a song called Stop the Violence, right? Stop the violence. It went 1, 2, 3. The crew is called BDP. And if you want to go to the tip top, stop the violence in hip hop. Why? Ooh. And then why did it stop? We stopped loving God, respecting the Lord, seeking wisdom. And now who gets mad at me whenever I start talking about, right? Like that's what I was trying to convey earlier to another person. Like, yo, the reason why Kanye can't do the Super Tune halftime show is because he's gonna rock that joint. As soon as he comes out there in this last song, y'all know what the last song is. Jesus walks. He's gonna rock that joint. But who don't like Jesus walks? The L, the J, the L, the G, the B, the T, the Q, the I, the A, the dot, the PDF files. Who again? The DI files. Word up, right? Because we about protecting Jimmy. We ain't about just deviantly letting Jimmy be out of control. Like, it's self-control, it's self-mastery. One God, our Father, all the time. Hip-hop, life, love, one. God is love, hip-hop is life, time is holy. Money, y'all wasting my time, is nothing more than fourth dimensional illusion that really doesn't exist, because hip-hop is the art of making the most out of life. Yeah, you can say it's economical. It's not about how fast you can spend $1. Now you're starting to learn how to budget. Now you're about to have that slow dough, and your life's going to change. One, God is understood. Peace and happiness to you.